Hi, and welcome to Best in Tesla News, episode 219. Tesla is firing about 10% of its staff. And despite what many people want you to believe, EV sales are still up 21% in Q1. And the race for humanoid robots are heating up. And Tesla's board is fighting back for Elon's compensation package. And new features are coming to your Tesla in a new big update. And Tesla's full self-driving version 12 is taking on some of the most insane traffic. And Tesla is going balls to the walls on autonomy. And BMW bought a Cybertruck. And Tesla has aggressively been buying up batteries in Q1. And Tesla makes a new price structure for supercharging network here in Europe. And Tesla has made a whole new service available. All of this and much more in today's episode. Let's dive right in.
Let's put our living stereo stylus in this groove.
As expected, Tesla is fighting back on the removal of Elon's compensation package. Robin Denholm, chairperson of the board of Tesla, wrote a letter to the shareholders. And here are some of the highlights as she wrote in the letter. The court decided years later that the CEO pay package was not entirely fair to the very same stockholder who voted to approve it, even though approximately 73% of all votes cast by our disinterested shareholders vote to approve it in 2018. Because the Delaware court second-guessed our decision, Elon has not been paid for any of his work for Tesla for the past 6 years that has helped to generate significant growth and stockholder value. This strikes us and many of the shareholders from who we have already heard as fundamentally unfair and inconsistent with the will of the stockholders who voted for it. Oh yes, Elon has not got paid for any of his work for Tesla for the past 6 years. But the stock is up like 10x since and have brought in incredible value for shareholders. But someone like Mary Barra has got paid something in the range of $150 million for her job in the same period, and GM stock has gone absolutely nowhere under her leadership. Yes, this is fundamentally unfair. GM shareholders is getting effed while Mary is getting rich. And as Robin continued, the board stands behind this pay package. We believed in it in 2018 as we asked Elon to pursue remarkable goals to grow the company. You, as shareholders, also believed in it in 2019 when you overwhelmingly approved it. Time and result has only shown the wisdom of our judgment. We do not agree with what the Delaware court decided, and we do not think that what the Delaware court said is how corporate law should or does work. So we are coming to you now so you can help fix this issue with a matter of fundamental fairness and respect to our CEO. You have the chance to reinstate your vote and make it count. We are asking you to make your voice heard once again by voting approval ratification of Elon's 2018 compensation plan. And we are of course also going to vote for moving Tesla's state of incorporation to Texas and also re-elect Kimball Musk and James Murdoch to the board. And as a shareholder of Tesla, I can only agree with this letter. Yes, 73% of the shareholders voted for this package, but the judge thinks she can just make all of the company's shareholders vote not count. So don't forget to put this into your calendar. The 2024 annual meeting of stockholders will be held on June the 13th at 3:30 p.m. Central Time, both virtual via the internet and of course at the Giga Texas factory. But I did make a whole video about this week, so if you want to learn more, check that one out, link down below.
And before we continue with more news stories, I just want to make a quick shout out here. They are not sponsoring this video, but I did get them to give me an affiliate link because I wanted to become an ambassador for this product. Because I have just got home from a week of shooting videos up in Finland for my upcoming YouTube channel Best in Tech, and this product has been absolutely awesome. It's called Native. It's a next generation thermal base layer. They are made with this 3D printed applied into the weaving, making it completely seamless and making the fabric consist of millions of small holes that makes it highly ventilated, light and ultra flexible. I have never felt anything like this. It is so light and flexible, you don't really feel like you're wearing anything. There is no resistance. You have 100% freedom of movement even though it fits tight to your body completely. There is just no resistance, and that is what a good base layer are supposed to do, right? Cover your body completely to make the moisture from your skin go to the outside of the fabric and then evaporate. And this fabric does exactly that, but without any compromises on your movement or feeling like you're being choked. The thousands of small holes from the 3D printed mesh of this fabric is made of the best ventilated merino wool and 3% silver I has ever tried before. I used the whole week up in Finland and the thermal regulation was just beyond anything I have ever tried before, and it never smelled. The engineering that went into this piece of clothes is quite amazing. I was really blown away by this product. It is 100% made in Italy, not made in China like most others. This is made in Italy from recycled materials. I can highly recommend you to try out Native if you, like me, love to get out in nature and know you're wearing something that will make sure you are perfectly thermally regulated.
If you want yours, I have a link down below, and use the discount code LAST20 to get 20% off your purchase.
And let's get back to the news.
So the Tesla stock continues to go down, and we hear Tesla short sellers coming out screaming about how Tesla is not doing well in China and EVs has peaked, and well, the facts shows us a different picture. But firstly, to say Tesla is not doing great and demand is not there is the same story we have heard from the short sellers through the last decade. And Tesla sales continues to rise. And Gene of the EV universe made this little chart of the top 3 of the best-selling EV in Europe, the US and China. And as you can see here, Tesla clearly has a problem and the competition is coming. Best-selling EV model in China with the most competition on the planet is the Tesla Model Y. In Europe, the 2 best-selling EVs are the Model Y and the Model 3, and the same goes for the US. And on the 3rd spot we have the Bolt that is no longer being produced, so going to be exciting to see which vehicle will take that spot after the Bolt. Because if we look at the top 10 in the US in Q1 2024, well, Ford's Mach-E is actually now sitting on the number 3 spot. It is selling about 1/10 of the sale of the Model Y, so still not really something we can call competition, but it is the best-selling non-Tesla EV in the US, so that's nice. But there are some very interesting numbers in the Kelley Blue Book report, as they had Cybertruck numbers in their list. Probably just estimates, but if this is somewhat accurate, they have the Cybertruck for 2,803 units. And then we look at the GM Humanoid EV that has been around for 2 years at just over 1,600, and the Silverado EV just above 1,000 units. So it seems like the Cybertruck is already beating the Humanoid EV and the Silverado EV combined. Yeah, GM is clearly leading in who will not survive the switch to EVs. But we also have to give some credit to Rivian here as well, as they are actually sitting on the number 4 spot in the US with the R1S. This is not their pickup truck, this is their big SUV, and that has actually sold more units than the Ford F-150 Lightning. Very impressive. Rivian's pickup truck though, the R1T, only sold 3,261 units in Q1, so Ford's pickup truck is at least selling more than twice the amount of Rivian's pickup truck. So Ford can at least still brag on that one. But the only company with real bragging rights here is Tesla. The Model Y with over 96,000 units and the Model 3 with over 30,000 units, and then everyone else less than 10,000 units. So no one in the US other than Tesla sells over 10,000 units of their EV models, and Tesla still has over 51% of the BEV market share, and the Model Y sits on 35% of the market by itself. Yes, in China and Europe there are a lot of competition, but in the US there is still Tesla and then everyone else. In Europe the story is kind of the same. Tesla is just not as much in front as they are in the US. Here the Tesla Model Y only sells about 4 times as many units as the closest non-Tesla EV. And even though Germany cut the EV incentive in December, so of course EV sales are going down there, but EV sales are usually down in the beginning of the year, but we will get back to that in a minute. But Tesla still has the best-selling electric vehicle in Germany. Here is a chart from March where we can see the closest competition is Volkswagen, but they have to combine 2 models, the ID.4 and the ID.5, to get anywhere near Tesla's Model Y. But the people that say EV sale has stopped or peaked in 2023 are just trying to spin the numbers the way they like, because the fact is that in Q1, that was a tough quarter for most electric vehicle makers, was still up 21% in Q1, so people are saying EV growth has stopped are simply just lying. In a bad quarter, in the worst quarter of a year, they are still up 21%. As you can see here in this chart from Roland about BEV market share in Europe, there is a very clear trend that EV sales peak in Q4 every year and then drops down in Q1 every year and then back up again. And every year in Q1, short sellers comes out and screaming doom for EVs in Q1 and then becomes very quiet for the rest of the year as EVs continues to grow. Over the past 2 years, EV sales has doubled. And in China, the biggest car market on the planet, EV sales grew 31%, so they don't seem to be hitting the brakes. And in the US and Canada, EVs even grew 13%, and in Europe, that was lagging behind in Q1, they still grew 7%. So EVs are not down, they are still growing, and 21% in a bad quarter for many of the biggest players in the industry doesn't seem that bad to me. So no, EVs have not peaked, they are still growing. And the advancement in humanoid robots is picking up speed, and one of the old boys is taking a bow. And we see more and more new startups coming into the arena, and all in a humanoid shape, and being taught to do useful tasks. Funny how everyone was laughing at Tesla when they said they would try to build a humanoid robot. And now 3 years later, a whole sea of humanoid robot companies are emerging and trying to make a useful humanoid robot. Guess not many are laughing anymore. And one company that has been making robots for more than 30 years is Boston Dynamics, but their focus has been completely different from what the new robotics companies of today are trying to do. And now we see even Boston Dynamics is making the shift. It was not long ago that Boston Dynamics tried to show off their Atlas robot could also do useful stuff, but the demo was not very convincing, and the price tag of Atlas would make sure it would never come to market. And I think Boston Dynamics is seeing this as well. If they want to compete in the new robot race, they have to create a useful robot and not one that can do backflips. As Boston Dynamics has announced, for almost a decade, Atlas has sparked our imagination, inspiring the next generation of robotics and leaped over technical barriers in the field. Now it's time for our hydraulic Atlas robot to kick back and relax. So Boston Dynamics will no longer be working on the good old Atlas robot. And now we also have more than one company integrating large language model into the humanoid robot, and the demos we have seen has been really impressive, from Figure AI with OpenAI's ChatGPT in the US and UB Tech with Baidu in China. The race is on for making a useful, affordable humanoid robot with an AI brain. And Tesla seems to be the only one that have all of this basically in his house, or at least inside Elon's companies, with Tesla's own AI vision and robots and the large language model from xAI's Grok. So going to be very exciting to see what Tesla will come out with as well. So the question now facing Boston Dynamics, a company historically focused on the physical capabilities of a robot rather than their cognitive functions, is whether it can adapt and thrive in the new era where the brain of the robots, its AI, is paramount. But they did show us their new Atlas robot that they have been working on, and that was very impressive. As Boston Dynamics wrote in their press release, "We designed an electric version of Atlas to be stronger, more dexterous and more agile. Atlas may resemble the human form factor. We are equipping the robot to move in the most efficient way possible to complete a task rather than being constrained by a human range of motion. Atlas will move in ways that exceed human capabilities." So stay tuned to see what the world's most dynamic humanoid robot can really do. So that sounds very interesting. But no matter what, Boston Dynamics has definitely realized that the old Atlas is clearly not the way of the future and has only been an R&D project. And if they want to be part of the new race, they have to make a humanoid robot that can do useful stuff. And I think their new Atlas robot definitely looks very promising. The only question is, can they build an AI brain that is needed, or do they need help from other companies? But to begin with, it will probably mostly be working at a Hyundai factory, as Hyundai owns Boston Dynamics today. So it will no doubt be focusing on doing useful work in a car factory. So yet another humanoid robot we can keep an eye on and see how it will develop. But we bid the good old Atlas a farewell, and thanks for all the fun moments through the years. Tesla is cutting back on employees, but just so everyone knows, Tesla does this every year, but this time around it might be a little bit different. As Robin Denholm also wrote in the letter to the shareholders, of course a key part of this nimble organization requires careful management of our resources. We recently announced a company-wide restructuring that reduces our headcount by more than 10% globally. Over the years, we have grown rapidly with multiple factories scaling up around the globe. With this rapid growth, there has been a duplicate of roles and job functions in certain areas. We believe it is extremely important to look at every aspect of our business for cost reduction and increasing productivity. This action will prepare us for the next phase of growth, as we are developing some of the most revolutionary technologies in auto, energy, and artificial intelligence. Yes, we have seen 10% reduction before. Actually, every year there has been layoff, but the overall headcount continues to go up together with Tesla's revenue and deliveries. This is nothing new and something we should not be afraid of, but it does sound like this one is a bit different. As she wrote, we recently announced a company-wide restructuring. I think this is because Tesla is going all in on autonomy now, and AI and robotics. As Elon also wrote on X as a reply to Homer's catalog, not quite betting the company, but going balls to the walls for autonomy is a blindingly obvious move. Everything else is like variations on a horse carriage. Exactly. Yes, robotaxis are what matters in the long run for Tesla's automotive business. Many people don't really seem to get the implication and value creation this will generate for Tesla, and it will change the industry forever. But this will also change Tesla forever, and Tesla probably doesn't need the same kind of people for the next phase as they did for the last 6 years of insane growth. So I do believe we are seeing a bigger restructuring of the company and getting new blood in, thirsty for the next big growth wave with the compact car and autonomous vehicle is probably a very good thing for Tesla, even though it is never fun losing some of the smartest people in the world. So I definitely think Tesla is restructuring the company and getting it ready for the next big push. Also because taking a company that has been primarily focused on auto and then restructuring it to a software and AI and robotics company requires a different workforce than what got Tesla to where they are today. So yes, they are probably trimming the fat of the company, but at the same time restructuring the company so it is in line with the future Tesla company that will largely be a software, AI, and robotics company. But AD, that has worked with software at Tesla that seems to have been fired, wrote on X, "At Tesla, I thought I had learned production engineering, management, massive programs, building highly scalable and available software system that runs the factories. In reality, what I've learned is to never ever give up. Never. Ability to break down complex problems into small, simple, and actionable chunks. Nothing is impossible unless physics say so. Always questioning the status quo. Failure is always an option. Not failing means not innovating enough. Taking split-second decision with millions at stake. These are skills that I'll carry with me for the rest of my life. Tesla isn't just a company, it's a way of life. Grateful for everything Tesla has taught me." Yes, Tesla is a very special place, and as he said, Tesla isn't just a company, it's a way of life. And let's squeeze in the last short news topics into this news show. Yes, it's time for the Tesla shorts. And if you think all the talk about Tesla firing people when the stock is down and earnings are falling is something new, well, James shared this clip of good old Jim Chanos from 2018 where he famously said, "The big boys are coming."
The big boys are coming.
And Jim Chanos explained why he was shorting Tesla, and it is the same song that most Tesla Qs are singing today. Executive departures, stock has made no progress in years, earnings estimates falling, incinerating capital, production problems, Tesla has nothing unique, the competition is coming, falling behind in autonomous technology. But what happened? Well, Tesla stock rose in value by more than 10x. James Chanos has shut down his short fund. I expect something similar is going to happen over the next 6 years. And Tesla does what Tesla does best, bring us new features with an over-the-air software update. And we will get this beautiful immersive full-screen vehicle control when parked, as we have seen from the Cybertruck. Can't wait for that one. That looks really nice, and we did also get a little video of it in action. But we also got some completely new features like hands-free trunk for the Model S and X 2021 or later, and the upgraded Model 3. Stand still behind the trunk with the phone key and the trunk will open on its own. So I guess this is using vision and not sensors to be able to do this. So that's pretty cool. I hope someone with a new refreshed Model 3 will test it out and share a video. Maybe Jan from Tesla Fix, if you are watching, please test this one out and share a video about it. And another feature I have been waiting for is Preview, a brief clip of Sentry mode recording on your phone if the alarm is triggered by pressing and holding notification. Nice. This was just some of the features coming, and this is for cars with the AMD chip. So my Model Y will get this, but my old Tesla Model 3 will not get this. So my now 5-year-old Tesla Model 3 suddenly starts feeling a bit old. Maybe an update would be suitable when the new refreshed ludicrous Model 3 comes out. And we did also get a confirmation that BMW really did order a Cybertruck for testing. This is confirmed by someone close to the internal BMW circles. Yes, there is a lot to learn for the old guys to tear down the Cybertruck, just like Toyota learned a lot from tearing down the Model Y and called it a work of art. Well, the Cybertruck has taken all of Tesla's engineering to the next level, so even more to learn from this beast, from 48-volt architecture steer-by-wire, the Ethernet setup, new ways of making gigacasting, and much more. And Tesla announced this week that a new pricing structure for its supercharger network in Europe starting today. The monthly membership fee to supercharge at low prices will be reduced from 99 Danish crowns a month previously to 75 Danish crowns a month now, going from about $15 to $11. Tesla is also introducing a new annual membership option priced at 750 Danish crowns a year, a 16% discount compared to the monthly membership. The Tesla supercharging network is the largest fast charging infrastructure globally and the most extensive public fast charging system in Europe. As today, there are more than 14,000 superchargers distributed over 1,100 locations that are available in 13 European countries. Over 70% of the network is currently open to non-Tesla vehicles, and more supercharger will be added in the near future. And if you didn't see Will from Tesla Jigsaw's nice little video about him testing out the charging network in Scotland, you should definitely check that one out, because it is very different having a Tesla or an electric vehicle. Link down below. And a nice little train heading for Vandrup in my country, so does not look like the Model Y is letting go of the title of the best-selling car in my country anytime soon. And you know, Fisker, the former Danish EV company that went bankrupt and is just about to do it again, yes, that company, well, Motor Trend made a flashy headline about the comparison between the Fisker Ocean and the Tesla Model Y and called it a flashy threat to Tesla's dominance. This article should have been posted as an April Fool's joke. Now it's just the journalist that looks like a fool. And as per a report from South Korean publication New Daily Economy, Tesla aggressively purchased battery from LG Energy Solution in Q1. Tesla reportedly bought such a large volume of batteries from the South Korean supplier that the company's sales increased by 30% quarter-over-quarter. Now that is quite significant. That does not sound like a company that has demand problems, but rather a company that is getting ready for a mass market vehicle and is trying to get its hands on as many batteries as possible. And according to eFeber, the Tesla Cybertruck was spotted in Europe near Grünheide, so hopefully that means Tesla is working on getting it on the European roads. And Jackson S shared this video of full self-driving version 12.3.4 that did a drive through New York City. I have tried driving there myself and I didn't like it. And to see version 12 just handle all of this chaos with rickshaws and scooters and pedestrians and all this chaos of cars was just very, very impressive. And if you live in the US and are looking for a great deal on a car, well, Tesla has lowered its starting leasing price of the Model 3 in the US to $299 a month from $329. So if you or someone you know are considering leasing a car for more than $299 a month, please take them to test drive a Tesla Model 3 and see what they think. What an amazing deal. And if you are wondering why Tesla didn't bring the crab walk to the Cybertruck, well, we just got the answer to that. According to this new post from Wes, Tesla's lead engineer for the Cybertruck, Tesla considered using the feature for the Cybertruck, as we have seen in some videos. However, after some testing and development, they described it as clunky and awkward experience, and they just couldn't find the use case for it. Yep, a feature that will probably never be used other than a party trick. Simply not worth it. But of course, this is something GM is very proud of. Not surprisingly, that GM likes party tricks. And we are witnessing mainstream media collapse right now, as Elon wrote on X. Legacy media simply can't compete with hundreds of millions of humans providing real-time, AI-assisted, interactive information. Amen to that. And Alex shared this chart showing the German competition that has been coming for Tesla for years. But clearly they are doing something wrong, as they has just been left in the dust. As you can see, in 2021, Volkswagen actually was as big as BYD, and both grew pretty fast in 2021. But then Volkswagen just stopped and BYD just continued, and the rest is history. And one of the German vehicles that has done very badly in sale is the Mercedes-Benz EQS. As Alex wrote on X, it is a horrible sales flop, and what the company has done now to make the vehicle better is a new nose design. I mean, if the legacy automakers can't see why they are losing this game to Tesla and the Chinese, this is a great example. Well, the new version does get a bit more range as well, to be fair, but they are achieving that by putting in another 10 kilowatt hours of batteries, not by making the car more efficient. And Holmar shared that Tesla is now launching the ability to order food on their vehicle touchscreen to pick up upon arrival at a supercharger. These are the kind of integration I've been begging them to do for years. Full self-driving will become a massive e-commerce platform. Now that is awesome. And I really need your help. You might know that I'm starting a new YouTube channel called Best in Tech, and that will be launched in June, but we are of course starting it from scratch, so we need some subscribers. So if you would support me, that would mean the world, and head over to Best in Tech, link down below, and just subscribe to the channel so we can get this off the ground when we launch it in June. And I don't think you will be disappointed following the channel anyway, as it's gonna be fun, informative, and well produced. Here is just a little taste of what to expect. And before we end off with a bit of fun, I just want to make a quick shout out to my newest supporters of this channel. My new YouTube member, Terrence White, and my new Patreon producer, Tim Miller, and Tony and Cheryl Neff. Thank you so much for all your support. I am doing this all by myself, but you guys are all the producers of this new show. Thank you. And let's end off with a bit of fun. Now that all the Tesla Qs has come out of hibernation, because it's Q1, let's take a trip down memory lane just so people understand how much they are usually off the mark. Let's start with a legend, Tesla charts. That said, cut down a forest for nothing but a few headline pumps. There will never be a Tesla factory in Germany. All this one from Doopy, the Tesla Model Y is dead on arrival, thanks to this. Then a picture of the soon-to-be killed-off Jaguar I-Pace that in 2023 sold 6,752 units. And the Model Y 1.2 million. And let's end with good old Bertolt Smitty that wrote in 2020 wishful writing about Tesla Model Y becoming the best-selling SUV in the US. Yeah, it did become the best-selling car in the world, proving all of these Tesla short sellers wrong. That is all we have time for in this news show. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, don't forget to hit that like button. It really does help this video out a lot so others can find it on YouTube. And if you did like it, maybe you want to consider hitting that subscribe button, notification bell, so you don't miss out on future videos just like this one.
And if you're already a subscriber to the channel, thank you so much for the support. But if you want to support the channel even more, remember you can, for as little as $1, become a patron of this channel, or become a member of the YouTube channel to get a shout out as some extra perks like early access, ad-free versions of my videos, exclusive videos. So hit the members button or check out Patreon to find out more. And don't forget to follow me on X. I post pretty much all the news as it comes out and a lot more. And check out the merch store to get some merchandise and support the show. It is also possible to support the show without becoming a member or a patron. There is a donation option down below or on my website bestintesla.com. You can also become an executive producer and get news articles, exclusive videos, behind the scenes, and access to all my research, charts and spreadsheet also on bestintesla.com, or as simple as hitting the super like button.
And thank you for watching. And until next time, take care out there and be nice.